Welcome back, beautiful, amazing human beings. Apologies, I am a little bit under the weather, but I didn't want to wait making this video because, if you guys didn't know, the mainstream media are a bunch of dirty who don't give a about you, don't give a about society, don't give a about their country. They only give a about themselves. And that's why, specifically in this video, I wanted to highlight all the good, positive news that happened in 2018. Because guess what? Those contaminated sucking want to keep you at a low vibrational state where they could easily control you or just sell you useless that you don't need. Guess what? Most of the you have, you don't even need. And these corporate whore who will sell their soul for the top dollar know in order for them to stay in power and in business, they have to sell you fear. That's why their overly sexualized, divisive bull that they call news actually promotes anxiety, depression, fatalism, cynicism, and of course, radicalization. And since, positive, happy, good news doesn't sell too well like the New York Post conjure together, no. There's definitely no time to talk about all the good stuff that happened. Yeah. All the good stuff, all the honorable, admirable, things that actually make our existence better on this world. We don't got time to print that. So that's why in this video, I'm going to go over all the top 10 stories of all the good news that happened in 2018. Because what you put your attention on grows. And there's actually a load of positive news that actually happened in 2018 that I even wasn't aware of until I started doing research for this specific video. Overall, living standards for most of the people in the world have actually improved. The US Department of Agriculture has even reported an increase in the population of honeybees, and these are some of the things that I don't even have in the top 10 list. So let's just get right into it. And the 10th story that I have on my list is the fact that fewer people are smoking cigarettes than ever before, this even including the Russians, who I know as the people who smoke like chimneys and drink like fish, who actually are drinking and smoking less than at any other point since the fall of the Soviet Union, with tobacco use down by 20% since 2009, and alcohol consumption down by 20% since 2012. We have the fact that fewer people are smoking cigarettes than ever before here in the United States, and even the French who smoke a cigarette every time they get a baguette. Literally, it's almost impossible to find a restaurant in Paris that does not have a smoking area, with 1 million people quitting cigarettes just this year alone. And in the United States, the CDC is actually reporting its record lowest ever recorded amount of smokers in the United States. Which, by the way, also includes me, who gave up that dumb self-sabotaging habit this year, just a few months ago, because I realized how stupid it is and the propaganda, especially in your subconscious, that actually made you smoke. And just how dumb I was for actually doing that. At number 9, we have the good news that suicide is declining everywhere. We have the fact that globally, suicide rates have dropped by 38% since 1994, which is nearly 4 million people and 4 times the number of people killed in combat during the same time. Even the Ruskies are committing less suicide than ever before, and even though the numbers are growing globally, in the United States, they actually have risen sharply. In Europe, like the rest of the world, they are falling. But this is a very complex issue that we actually addressed in a number of videos, which you could see by searching our channel or just clicking the links in the description below. And now number 8 on our list of good positive stories that happened this year, we have the fact that clean, renewable energy is on the rise, as this year the world has passed 1,000 gigawatts of cumulative installed wind and solar power, where just less than 10 years ago, it only accumulated 8 gigawatts of power. The cost of solar fell by 14% this year and wind by 6% in many parts of the world, where it is now cheaper to use clean energy than, of course, its competitors. Countries like Chile have even managed to quadruple its clean energy sources since 2013, resulting in a 75% drop in the average cost of electricity. And of course, we could get into free energy and suppressed technology, but that's a whole nother issue. But in large, the progression is being made and is being moved towards a positive place. And now number 7 on our list is the fact that cancer deaths have actually fallen 25% since 1991. Overall, the deaths from cancer continue to decline, with some cancers dropping dramatically, like breast cancers that have went down 39% since 1989, which translates to 322,600 deaths being avoided. But prostate cancer has actually gone up in the United States, increasing from 7.8 new cases per 100,000 people in 2010 to 9.2 new cases per 100,000 in 2014. So dudes, don't forget to check your But overall, here in the United States, death from cancer is actually going down. So slipping in to number 6, I'm serious guys, check your is the fact that there is a major effort to clean up the ocean from, of course, the tremendous amounts of garbage and plastic that is currently polluting it. And right now, there's actually a giant 600-meter long boom in the Pacific Ocean that is using the forces in the ocean to clean up the plastic, which you could actually track online, and is predicted to clean up more than half of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in the next 7 years. A project started up by Boylan Slot, a member of the Bilderberg group that we actually confronted and afterwards even got an exclusive interview with about his project, which is actually a very commendable one. And his actions, as well as other people's actions, are showing us that we can make tremendous change in the world, especially when it comes to bettering our environment, where in India we saw 1.5 million volunteers plant a record 66 million trees in just 12 hours, and in places like Florida in the United States, where companies are incentivized by the consumer to launch products like this one, where a beer company is creating a 6-pack of rings that actually feeds turtles instead of killing them. And now for number 5, we have the fact that crime and murder rates have been going down, especially in the Western world, like in the United States, where in the 30 largest cities, it is projected that the murder rate for 2018 is 7.6% lower than it was in 2017. In Germany, the number of reported crimes has actually fallen by 10% to the lowest level in 30 years now. And even in California, the arrests of teenagers have fallen by 80% and imprisonment by 88%. And even though the United States has the biggest prison population in the world, larger than China and Russia, by the way, huge prison industrial complex, even in the United States, we are seeing the number of people sent to prison the lowest it has been in over 20 years. And now, number 4, news, of course, that makes my friend Dan Dix and Jason Burmis very happy. And that, of course, is weed legalization. With not only Canada becoming the second country in the world to legalize marijuana, but also in the United States, states like Michigan and Vermont did the same, while Utah and Missouri allowed medical marijuana. But the biggest change, I have to say, was Donald Trump just recently signing the Farm Bill, which federally decriminalizes hemp and CBDs, making them federally legal, allowing states to decide how they want to handle these substances, which have huge potential of changing our life for the better. Plus, Dan Dix and Jason Burmis are very happy. And now number 3. We have the fact that sexual predators and pedophiles are finally seeing the true light of justice, with many powerful, politically connected entertainers, moguls, banksters, celebritards, and these people who thought they were invincible, who are just utterly delusional, like Kevin Spacey, who, by the way, is just being charged for felony sexual assault in Florida, who's being charged with sexual felony assault, or even Jeffrey Epstein, who had to make a public announcement saying that all the allegations against him were true, which pretty much all started as a huge wave of backlash, starting, of course, with Harvey Weinstein. And, of course, there are still a lot more predators, pervs, and pedos out there than we've actually been told, especially in the upper echelons of our society, and political purposes going after some innocent individuals. But overall, with some of the cases even amounting to 60 individuals, there was no denying the actual crimes that were happening here. And overall, this is, in my eyes, a good movement that was started and still has a long ways to go. But I'm very happy to actually see some justice be done. And now for number 2, we have the fact that there's a lot less death from the state than ever before. According to the Journal of Peace Research, the global deaths from state-based conflicts have declined for the third year in a row and are now 32% lower than their peak in 2014. With the biggest numbers, of course, declining in Iraq, where the civilian death toll has dropped to nearly 80% from 2017. Which perfectly leads into the number one story, and that is the fact that 2 wars have been usurped, have been stopped, have been prevented by, I can't believe I'm saying this, Donald Trump. The first one, of course, being the major peace resolution between North and South Korea, which surprisingly is holding, has actually stabilized, and is moving towards a transition of peace, better relations, and prosperity for all people. The second, of course, is Syria, where Donald Trump just pulled U.S. troops out of, which, of course, only a few loony, crackhead neoconservatives and the mainstream puppet prostitutes make them very unhappy with the news, but otherwise has come to the cheer and delight of many Americans who are happy to finally see American troops coming back home. And even though there's a possibility of a bigger conflict, especially with the Kurds and the Turks, so far, and especially long-term projections, show that this is the right move to make, a move towards more peace, less war, less conflicts, and something that a lot of people haven't seen coming, especially from Donald Trump, that previously bombed the Syrian government twice. So yeah, that is my top story of good news coming from 2018. If you think I'm wrong about anything, if you think I should have added or subtracted anything, let me know in the comments below. I always answer them within the first hour that a video is out. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, click subscribe. And of course, that notification button to be a part of the bigger conversation. A conversation which wouldn't be possible without you going to wearechange.org/donate and supporting this independent media broadcast that, of course, is not a corporate dirty whore who will censor all the good and positive news from you to keep you in a low vibrational, energetic state to take advantage of you. We're not those. And the reason we could do that is because of you and your support. And that's why I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for a lot more. Sorry for being sick, but I just couldn't wait for this video. Love you.